Calculating mean with group data with class intervals. Now in this case, in this question, what do you notice about our data values here? These are all in terms of intervals. And before we begin, we must always check to make sure our calculator, the memory has been cleared. So press second function, clear memory 1, 0 to clear, and all memories have been cleared. Now, in order to clear our data, we will need to be in the statistics mode 1, 0, and we are now in the statistics mode. But then I will need to key in my data. How am I going to key in the data from 0 to 5 for such an interval? In this case, we will need to do one extra step whereby we find this thing called the class mark. And the class mark is found by taking the the lower class limit plus the upper class limit divided by 2. And that gives me 2.5. Similarly for the others, this class mark will become 7.5. What do you think will be the next class mark? Do you get 12.5? And the last one. Do you get 17.5? So these are going to be our class mark, and we shall use this to estimate our data. Why is this an estimate? Because we do not know the exact data values within each interval. So what we did is we took a class mark to represent that class interval. Another word for class mark is called the mid value, which means we can take the addition of the two numbers divided by 2 to give us the mid value. In this case, let us get started with our calculations. So back to our mode where this is in the statistics mode. Now the data that I'm going to key in is no longer from 0 to 5, but I will take 2.5 to represent the data in that class interval and a frequency of 14. So hence, you will need to key in 2.5 as an estimate of the class interval, pressing the X, Y button, followed by the frequency 14 and the data button. So we have keyed in the first set of data. Let us look at the second set. 7.5, followed by the frequency and data set 2. Let us look at the third set. I have 12.5, followed by the frequency 8, data, and fourth set, I will have 17.5 for the data value, and 5 for the frequency, data set 4. So let's check. Here says data set 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I've keyed in 4 sets of values. So before we begin, we must always make sure we write down mean x bar summation fx over summation f. Now let us find our summation f. Where do I find my summation f? Is given by RCL, recall, and look for the number 0 where there is an n, meaning the number of data set, and that is 50. So my total summation of frequency will be 50. Next, I will need to look for summation fx. Where is summation fx? RCL, recall, followed by the decimal place where you see summation x, and this will be 395 for my summation fx. I'm able to call for my mean directly by pressing RCL 4 where you see the X bar And in this case, my answer is 7.9, an exact number. I do not need to round off. Alternatively, you can choose to write your answer as changing your calculator back to the normal mode. 395 divided by 50 to be equals to 7/9/10. In this case, let us read our question again. Now, in my question, I have time t minutes. All these data values are in terms of t. Do I write as x bar, or should I change it to t? So in this case, you are right. We should write it as t bar. And if that is the case, should we write as summation fx, or should we write as summation ft? You're right. We should write it as summation ft. So please read the question and always check the relevant variables that we are using in our question. And in this case, our answer is in terms of minutes, so we can leave it as 7.9 minutes or 7/9/10 minutes, and we'll get the correct answer.